Yeah.
This is for the Frsky guys. This is about rotating the gimbals. I'm making this video because I could not find a video about rotating the gimbals. So here's what I discovered. Got to take the back of the case off. Once you take the back of the case off, you always with these you're always careful because there's two antenna wires that are plugged in to the antenna. This is the antenna. It's got two wires. But then you'll need to remove the antenna, so it's got the got a couple connectors, and they're the press directly on. They're not a slide-in connector. They're a top press-on connectors, like a button. Yeah, like when you have buttons on your pants. And so yeah, you just want to pull those straight up. They had a little silicone on them, so I'll put a little silicone back, or probably I'll just use some Zap Goo because it's good. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So naturally there's three screws that you can get to really easily to rotate the gimbal, and naturally there's a fourth one that's covered. So you almost get it. So it's underneath this ribbon cable, and I thought, what can I do? I don't want to take all these PCB boards off. There's like 5, and they all have screws and connectors and everything. And they're connected to other wires that have other of these button connectors, that can all fall apart. So I'm like, let me see. So I just popped this ribbon cable out of the connector, which was easy enough to do. And then I could access that screw, but I couldn't get the ribbon cable back on. I had no leverage to get that ribbon cable back on. So that dog don't hunt. That's not the right way to go about it. Then I realized that there's these two little PCB boards, one on each side. They're real small, like a 1/2 inch by 1.25 inches. They got these wires hanging out of them. And if you remove those, that will allow clearance on this ribbon cable. It will come up without being taken out of the connector, and then you can get the screw. But you can't get those two little black screws. They're real tiny little black screws. You can't get those out without taking these top two PCB boards out. So I ended up taking all these out, all these layers of PCB boards down to here, and all their connectors and everything back in the back, lining up to all the outlets for output ports and input ports on the top of the case up here. I took all this stuff out, and then I was able to I had leverage to put the ribbon cable back in the connector that I had pulled it out from, and I could rotate the gimbals, and I put all this stuff back. So that took me like a 1/2 hour. That's not necessary. If you just open your case, take your antennas out, and take these top two PCB boards out, then you're able to, at that point, take these two little ones out, right there, that little one, and this little one with the two little black screws. And then you can lift those over this way, and then the ribbon cable will be out of the way. You'll be able to get to that screw, rotate the gimbal, and then you could just screw those two PCB boards back down with so you don't have to remove any connectors. And then these, just with these 4 screws right here, you can just pop these two back on. I think I could do that now in maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. Yeah, I think I could do it in 5 to 10 minutes. So much better than 1/2 hour. And I was looking for a video like this online, and I couldn't find one. So I found videos that showed how to rotate the spring tension and disable the ratchet if you wanted to. And I did that too. We actually, with Alvin's help, because he had just done it on his new Frsky, he did it at home. We were able to do this at the field on Sunday with mine because these things come so stiff. And with Alvin's help, we popped the back off. We didn't even remove the antennas, and we just held it, kind of carefully, and with the antenna still attached, and then just used an Allen wrench, a 1.5 metric Allen wrench, and just adjusted the tension on those, and then put the back of the case back on. The back of the case comes off super easy, and that was pretty quick and easy, like 5 minutes at the field, and we had the tension all adjusted, which made it much nicer to fly. But I thought better of rotating the gimbals at the field, and now I see I was right, because yeah, 1/2 hour here, under shop conditions, it would have, been 2 hours at the field. It was already dark. Sun had already set. So anyway, I just made this video because I couldn't find a video or a manual related to it or anything on Google. Yeah, nothing related to adjusting the gimbals. Now, I know a lot of the experts on Frsky have adjusted their gimbals, because most of the experts, when I watch their videos on anything related to their radio, they have their gimbals already turned. So apparently guys are realizing it's a good idea. To me, it's just a no-brainer. I've wanted this forever, and I was going to get a Jetty to do it, and but I see that Frsky has it, so you can see these things are at an angle now. So instead of your hand like on a keyboard, a straight keyboard, you got to turn your hand like this, and see how my wrist is all wrinkled up, you know. And then, but on an ergonomic keyboard, you turn your hand straight, so your wrist is all in line, you know, no wrinkles, nice and relaxed. And, you know, I only use ergonomic keyboards for computers. I won't use a straight keyboard. It's just way too difficult to do. So, you know, the same thing here, your hand, when you grab the side, you're having to bunch your hand up to go straight across, you know, on a standard radio, and then extend it. And that's just to go straight. And then this is bunched in, and then this is out, you know. So by spinning the gimbal, now your natural position of your thumb, left and right, is going to be all you have to do to go straight across, on this case, the ailerons. So straight across on the ailerons. So you're not going to have to bunch up. You're not going to be adding elevator and, you know, making it, your rolls all non-axial and all that stuff. And then the same thing with your elevator. You're pushing it straight up and down instead of pushing it over to be straight and then pulling it, you know, over this way, getting all these angles. So this looks pretty good. You're limited to 4 degrees on these, and it looks about right for comfort. I wouldn't mind, you know, and I've already talked to them about this, if they can increase that to, you know, 8 or 10, so you have some adjustability there. And it wouldn't be that hard. It would be in the manufacturing process, because they'd have to increase the slot that rotates a little bit more. But yeah, if it had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees more, I might only need 4. This is pretty close. I only need 2, but I wouldn't mind if they did it, just increase it a little bit more. And I could drill them out and get like another 1 or 2 if I really needed it, you know, but then I have to remove this whole gimbal and all its connectors and stuff, and then drill out the mounts a little bit and then put it all back together. But I'd like to get them to adjust it. Anyway, now I'm making it way too long again, but you could see there how they're turned in. You know, that one's turned in too. So yeah, that's what we're doing. You're able to do that on Frsky and on Jetty. I think a Jetty you can rotate it further, but I'm not sure of that. And on none of the other radios, I don't think you can. On the $4,000 power box, you can't. On Futaba, you can't. I don't think on JR and Spectrum you can. So pretty cool. And shit, man, that's about all there is to say. But I just wanted to make this video because I couldn't find one. I wanted one. I didn't want to make this video. I wanted to see another video and get the tips and tricks. But yeah, there you have it. Out.